Welcome to For the Health of It, an intimate look at public health in Cowley County, Kansas. Join us as we discuss topics that are impacting public health in our community and learn about what we do at your local health department. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of For the Health of It, Cowley County. I'm Tom Langer, the Health Department Administrator and Public Health Officer, and with me today, as always, is my lovely assistant. Actually, she's more boss anymore than I am, Allison Payne. Hi, Allie. How are you today?
I am well, thank you.
What's going on in your world?
Lots of work preparing for respiratory season.
Yeah, you were out of town over the weekend. Did you
That
have
was
a good
great.
time? You
Yes.
Went out and enjoyed a little bit of summertime, and now we're back. We have a guest with us today.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know who this person is?
I do. I'm very excited.
Would you introduce her and then have her say a few words about herself?
Sure. Today we have Amy Jo McWhirt with us. So if you'd like to share a little bit about yourself, that'd be great.
Well, hello, Tom. Hello, Allie. Thanks for inviting me. It's great to see you. Great to be here. I'm Amy Jo McWhirt, and I live in Winfield. I'm really enjoying working in the food systems right now, and I'd like to share some of the work I'm doing with you.
I have my health department hat on today, Amy Jo, but you wear several hats.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I actually
What are some of them?
I had to do notes because there's so many different things that I'm involved in.
Give us a laundry list rundown.
Yes, that's what it's going to be. All right. Well, first off, I work under RISE Cowley. So RISE Cowley is a coalition dedicated to making Cowley County a healthier place to live, work, and play. And as you are probably well aware, because you are on RISE Cowley, as is Allie as our chair, all the work that RISE Cowley is currently doing in the community. So right now, I'm actually serving as the 2024-2025 Rural Champion for Cowley County through the Kansas Office of Rural Prosperity.
Okay. What does that do? What does that do exactly?
Well, it's a grant-funded role, and it's about closing infrastructure gaps and supporting educational gardens and helping small food entrepreneurs get the resources they need.
Okay, now that's a mouthful of words.
I know, right?
What kind of infrastructure gaps are there in the food system?
Well, there's quite a few. And so this Rural Champion grant gave me $25,000 to spend in the community and find those gaps and help fill those. So I just want to do a shout out to Carrie Folletti. She's my Rural Champion mentor. She's the one who helped me determine what was important and what wasn't important. And then Yasmin Wood, she's my Legacy Foundation mentor. She also helped me get that grant-funded role.
Now, Carrie Folletti used to have a role here in the county. She was with the County EcoDevo office. And she's with the state
She's with the Office of Rural Prosperity now.
That's with Kansas Department of Commerce? Right, okay.
Yeah,
Good.
And she's great. So the $25,000, I invested it directly into local food access and community projects. So $10,000 went to food pantry upgrades. So like freezers, fridges, shelving, barcode scanners, and signage.
That's cool.
Yep, that's going to go to Angels in the Attic. They're in Ark City. The Cowley College Student Food Pantry in Ark City. The Dexter Outreach Church. And Joseph's Storehouse in Burden. Then $12,000 is going to go to school orchards and hospital gardens. So that's new apple and pear trees, because those come into season when the students are in class.
Cool.
Irrigation system benches and signage. So that's going to go to Dexter High School, Udall Middle School and High School, Irving Elementary School here in Winfield, and then the SCK Health Complex in Ark City. They got $3,000 each.
Good. They're going to, actually planting the trees? Or
what the plan is that they will work with local arbors to plant those trees successfully so that they can get the biggest trees that they can, so that the children can see the fruit in the time that they're in the school.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be the most satisfying, I think. So then $3,000 went to a commercial incubator kitchen setup at the Cowley County 4-H food stand. So that's going to help local entrepreneurs launch and grow their food-based businesses. They've already purchased a freeze dryer with the Hunger Free Kansas mini grant that we've gotten.
Sounds like there's a lot going on.
Yeah, so let me
And
tell you.
that's just in one, it's just in one little area.
I know. Let me tell you about the Hunger Free Kansas mini grant.
Okay.
So that is the food is medicine work
Yes.
that we're
Yes.
doing. Okay. So that was like a $15,000 Hunger-Free Kansas mini grant. And Becky Reed at K-State Research and Extension, she helped apply for that. We're connecting food production directly to health outcomes. So we're doing an expansion of the Winfield Correctional Facility garden, where we added a greenhouse, shade covering, shelving, row covers, and a merchandising fridge. So they can grow more and donate fresh produce to food pantries and local churches that offer free meals. So that's Grace United Methodist Church, First United Methodist Church, and Sheila's Giving Closet at Faith Ignited Church.
That's cool.
Then we're also distributing hydroponic systems to participants to improve their household access to fresh produce. That's actively part of the Food is Medicine Network. You know that we installed a hydroponic system at the Cowley County Health Center over there. We're actively monitoring it and getting referrals. So people are excited to see those.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, and we're hoping that, if you have one on your counter, you'll be more apt to eat fresh lettuce because you got to keep it trim, keep it nice on your counter there.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And honestly, side note, hydroponics are really great in the winter when you're kind of missing growing things. It's nice to have it there on your counter and have the greenery. So it's good mentally. We're also doing a research partnership. So we're working with Dr. Susan Yelich-Benecci. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong.
Yeah.
At Kansas State University to study the educational impact of the Food is Medicine program. So she's going to look at barriers like transportation, strategies for long-term sustainability, and she's going to be in Winfield next week on the 19th to conduct interviews and do tours. So then the other thing that I do under RISE Cowley is another grant-funded role, and that's the Pathways to a Healthy Kansas through Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Right. We know those folks.
Yep. And as the Pathways 3 grant coordinator, I help align local work to improve health equity across multiple sectors. So there are 5 pathways. There's the economic stability pathway, which is going to support SNAP access and healthier food retail at La Hacienda South in Arc City. They've already purchased a lighted open fridge, so that'll highlight their fresh produce options, and it's actually working. People head straight to that open fridge with the light, and they're really not inclined to open the heavy lidded freezer chest that they have there. So it's working, and it's great.
And is that just for fresh produce?
Yeah, it's to highlight all the green things that she carries there, basically.
Okay.
Then another pathways is the education access and quality. So we're partnering with Arc City Hope Squad and their Resist youth groups on tobacco and vaping prevention in the USD 470 schools in partnership with Eric Burr, which you probably know.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
We
were
did a
talking about that,
podcast for Hope Squad on here before.
Excellent.
Yeah, that was, what, a year? Or
Yeah, it
more
was
ago.
quite a while ago, but we had Eric Burr and his son
And his
come on
son.
at the time.
Nice. He's been great to work with so far, and I really hope that we can
I know
implement some strategies there.
I know the vaping issue in schools specifically is immense, and trying to get some structure around that and get that under control. That's a difficult thing to accomplish. So hats off to them.
When they're going to tackle the options of not being so punitive, that they're going to try to be more restorative, right? Instead of, say, suspending a student who gets first offenses, maybe they help that student go to a peer-to-peer support group, and they try to give education and help instead of just punishment.
Interesting. Okay, it'll be real interesting to see how that develops.
That was actually a requirement from the grant.
Yeah,
Right, that's the
that
pathways
piece.
work.
yeah. I know if I remember correctly in the writing of the grant documents, I think that 470 was picked because they've already shown a lot of interest in that area, and they've have things that's going on, and we're trying to, if I remember right, develop some type of a protocol that could be kind of a best practices and maybe spread to the other districts. Am I wrong? Do you remember?
That was the intent we
think that
had
was
when we
the
were writing
intent,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will come to fruition. I know it's a tough one because it's kind of like cell phones and everything else. sadly, kids start vaping when they're young, and that's
There's a lot of health aspects and a lot of mental too.
And the addictiveness of it is just amazing, So trying to wean somebody off of it, I mean, it's just like I kind of equate that back to the dinosaur days, like it was when I was a kid in high school, the way it was with smoking. Tobacco use of tobacco on campus was just strictly forbidden back then, and you got caught. It was you were suspended. I mean, just plain and simple. So, you realize today that it's terrible addiction, with nicotine or any of those things, and it's going to be difficult to wean people off. You got to do it the right way, hopefully, for long-term results. So anyway, I don't mean to talk over you. Continue on. What else is going on? Well,
part of that too, though, is if you're suspended for, say, 3 days, is that really actually stopping you from smoking, or is that just giving you 3 days to sit at home and smoke?
I suppose that is true. And it's like, what have you learned from it?
Exactly.
I think teaching them something probably is better or more of a punishment than saying you can't go to class for 3 days.
Well, and Eric Burr wants to really bring in the community in regarding that as well.
Yeah, I understand.
So I think that's really going to work. And he's got some long-term sustainability plans built in there as well.
Yeah, good. I'll be interested to see how that all works out.
The third pathways is healthcare access. So that's expanding social service referrals through the UNITA system, which several health organizations already are using, such as yourselves. Mm-hmm. And that's connecting healthcare to fresh food programs like the Food is Medicine. So we're actively accepting referrals at K-State for Food is Medicine through the Unitas program. So we're trying to expand that, and that's going to be through Eagle Nest. And shout out to Robin Henderson. She's going to be leading that pathway.
Good.
The fourth one is neighborhood and physical environment. So we're going to help improve trails, sidewalks, and pedestrian safety in partnership with the city of Winfield for that pathway. You might have already seen some action in downtown Winfield with new paint on the streets and some pedestrian walkway signage. So we're going to be kind of sharing part of that work, which is great, improving trails. The fifth and final pathways is the health in all policies one. You are probably very familiar with this one. It's getting to training community leaders. So Allie and Tom, both here of the health department, are in this package leading it, and they're going to integrate health into all levels of decision making. You already had a nice little experiment that you showed at a RISE meeting on how to bring health in all policies, and I think that people really appreciated that. And from what I hear, you also have 2 follow-up meetings to teach that later, one with the Golden Tigers at Cowley College, and then one potentially with the Women of Kansas, right?
Yes. Well,
something with Cowley College. So, yeah. I don't believe it was Golden Tigers, but
I'm not sure who it was.
Right.
Was it with one of the classes or not?
I believe so.
The idea is to help better explain what the objectives are, and to engage folks in actually an exercise where they become a policymaker, an elected official more or less, and to engage with them to show what it is we're trying to get accomplished and how it will change overall our mindset when we are creating new policies, and that is such a big concept, but bringing it down to the individual level, because a lot of times people want to know, what can we do to help? How can we do this? How can we make a difference? And so we want them to come forward and learn about this. Maybe they'll find a passion for it and they'll want to become a trainer and all of that. So that's how that door is going to open up. Looking forward to getting that rolling.
Yeah, I'm happy to work with you guys on that. It's going to be really transformative, I think.
It is. It's like everything else. You plant a seed, you tend to it, and it starts to grow. And we'll see how far that gets. Allie, anything else you want to throw in on that? Because I know we have been doing a lot of those. Gosh, it goes back a while now, seems like.
Yeah, I'm excited to get more people on board. I think that's the only way that it's going to be successful.
And we're going to expand that presentation and make it. We're going to have different versions of it. One that's kind of kid friendly, so we can even do it with kids, and then one that's more perhaps cerebral and intense for like college students or other adults who maybe have an understanding already. But the idea is to get as many people informed about it and have them participate as we possibly can, because that's where I think the real fruit will be reaped over time. Just like you say, we want to plant the trees and have fruit when the kids are in school. We want to do kind of the same thing in this regard. For the community to change, we've got to impact people on a one-on-one basis.
And you have to let them know why.
And have them see why, so that it's not just words. It gets, otherwise it just, oh yeah, I heard about that once.
Right.
But it didn't really set with them. They didn't marinate in it, so to speak. What else you got going on? I mean, not that you're not doing anything.
Well, some other initiatives I'm working on is we've also got a Food Secure Communities grant.
Yeah, I tell you what, there's a lot of money in food.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So that's a $55,000 a year for 3 years.
Really? Yeah. What year is this?
This is year one. We've got the money, and we're investing it in tackling root causes of food insecurity, especially the link between educational inequality and poor food access.
Okay, so let's talk in real words. What does that mean?
Well, we're going to provide educational outreach.
Okay.
So what we've been doing is offering nutrition classes, cooking demos, and resources for healthier eating with a focus on underserved neighborhoods.
Okay.
Becky Reed at K-State Research and Extension has been monumental in this work.
She's done a lot of those cooking type classes and such. I know we've partnered with them for dining with diabetes in the past and some other healthy eating. We don't want to turn people off, but we absolutely understand it. I think if you were to say, oh, are we in a nutritional food desert down here? Yeah, pretty much, because we have places we can go to eat, but think of it, what are they? Most of them tend to be the fast food type restaurants. And you don't have a whole lot of those healthy choice places.
Right. And in Winfield, especially, Walmart and Dillon's are right next to each other on the same part of town.
Yeah. And it's difficult. So, learning how to, I get, is this going to be one of those where, try something different and learn how to prepare it? Becky does a great job with that kind of stuff. She comes up with recipes. I'm like, what in the world is this, Beck?
Well, K-State has so many resources that are available to her. Just last night at 2:30 at the Winfield Public Library, she did a Nourish Your Heart, and it was on lowering your sodium intake.
Okay.
And she taught us, you can't eat pizza and Mexican food in the same day because they're both really high in salt. So if you're going to do that, you need to have pizza one day and Mexican food the next day. Probably not best to have it all in the day. So I learned something, but that's the educational inequity that we're trying to address.
Right. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So that people can make those healthier decisions, because maybe you don't have problems with accessing healthy food, but maybe you're just not educated on what that means. Yeah.
Oh, heck yes. We develop eating habits as youngsters. And boy, I can guarantee you that when I was a young man, that was probably terrible, because not only did I have, pizza for dinner, heck, but I had leftover pizza for breakfast the next day.
Right? There's probably times you had pizza 3 times in the day.
Yeah, just, it was all it was the thing, right? And I'm sure young ladies never did that stuff.
I don't know. Pizza's sounding really good now. I'd have to call Domino's.
Domino's, yeah, bring us over one. So anyway, how do you envision that particular grant? Because that's one that's going to be multi-year?
Right. It's for 3 years, and it's $55,000 each year.
Yeah.
Right. So it's supporting food preservation workshops also, which is like canning and freeze drying classes. People have been really excited about that. We've gotten quite a bit of action. People have been reserving and coming to those classes. Now, the big thing that I'm super excited about this particular grant is we got a farmers market shuttle going this summer.
Yeah, that's cool.
On Tuesdays in Arc City and on Saturdays in Winfield. So we've been actively working on that shuttle service. We're trying to get more and more people joining it. Like, you don't have to not have a car to want to ride it. You could just, enjoy being economically savvy and environmentally conscious, right?
Sure.
But
Making some friends too.
right, exactly. So what we're doing right now is we're trying to work on getting better signage at each stop. So if anyone's listening to this and you have any ideas on how to help with that, that'd be great.
How's it set up currently?
Well, currently the Council on Aging has a shuttle, and they are able to do this shuttle outside of their normal business hours, and they bill us.
Okay.
And so we're paying for that via the grant. So that's how we're able to keep it going now.
Gets folks. And that's working for both Winfield and Arc City.
Correct.
So is it Tuesday nights in Arc City?
Yes.
I think it is, and then Saturday mornings here in Winfield. So that's great.
And we make sure it stops by the library in both towns because, again, educational inequality is something that we're building into the food access.
So folks can if they can walk to the library, they can get picked up and taken to the farmer's market and then back again.
Exactly. And we've got those dropping off at key locations in each town.
Is there any early returns on this as far as how effective that's been? Allie, you were telling me something about having a presentation that was done from, was it the food fellow that we had?
Yeah, I was telling him about Dorito's work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, she presented at the RISE Cowley meeting all the stuff that she has done. That was also through K-State Research and Extension that they got the food fellow, and she was instrumental in helping with both of the farmers markets this summer as well as the Irving school gardens, which have never looked as good as they look right now. Exactly.
It's amazing what somebody that'll care for it and a little bit of precipitation will do during a summer.
Well, and let me also remind you that those are grant-funded role positions that create a lot of economic impact for the person doing that role.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
So that also gives that person money to spend in the community.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
That money stays here locally.
I'm all about those things. What else you got?
Well, we're also supporting Golden Tigers classes at Cowley College.
Not everybody in the county knows what that is.
Well,
I'm serious.
we need to tell them about it.
Tell them about Golden Tigers.
So Golden Tigers is for adults 50 plus who are interested in ongoing education. There's lots of different types of classes. I personally focus on horticultural therapy. So Micah Fry, she runs the program. She asked Becky and I if we could come up with some things, and the two that I came up with is worms, wellness, and waste knot. So that's going to be on September 30th from 10 to 12. And you can discover how small hands-on actions like vermicomposting can create some big environmental impact. You'll build your own red wiggler worm bin. You're going to take it home.
Get down.
Yep. You'll have live worms, bedding, and a care guide.
Those red wigglers.
Right?
Yep.
We'll also have tea, we'll have snacks, and we'll have thoughtful conversation. And you'll just be able to understand how composting nurtures not only the soil, but it can nurture a sense of calm, connection, and purpose.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. The other class is Grow Your Own Calm, Build a Terrarium. That's going to be on October 7th.
That's neat.
Mm-hmm. You'll create your own tabletop terrarium. You'll use glass, soil, plants, and decorative elements. You don't have to have any gardening or crafting experience. And we'll talk about nurturing living things, how that can reduce stress, how it can spark joy, and it'll leave you with a living work of art and hopefully a calmer mind.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Now, where are those going to be?
Those are going to be at the college campus at Cowley College.
Down in Arc City.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then there's going to be a number that they would call to...
Well, they can register online through Cowley College.
Through Cowley College.
Yep.
Okay.
They've got their fall semester schedule out right now.
Okay, and that's open to anybody age 50 and over.
That's right, and each class already has 8 people enrolled in each one, and we've topped it off at 20.
Okay.
So you better
So
get in
get-
there
get on
early
this.
if you want to get in these cool classes.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Allie, do you have questions?
I'm curious if you're going to be a golden tiger.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm a silver jayhawk,
All right.
Thank you. I'll tell you, there are a lot of neat things. I've watched it, and I know the Golden Tigers do more than just that. They go on
Right.
trips and things like that. That's always kind of neat. So
It seems like it's quite the community. So
yeah, it is.
They have a lot
That's
of
awesome.
socialization.
which is nice.
Yeah. And if that fills a need that people have. When you stop working, you kind of lose that socialization. And a lot of times that's what people are looking for there. Is just some group camaraderie.
Camaraderie, I got you. Oh, yeah.
That's a hard word.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Easy for you to say.
So then just let me tell you also that you have probably heard about the Winfield Public Library got a $50,000 T-Mobile grant
Really?
to work on their patio space.
Oh, yes. I did read about that. That
Right?
looks exciting.
Yes. So we're going to partner with them to build some like raised bed gardens, do some cooking things, some educational, nutrition, food related classes. And we're going to partner with the Extension Master Gardeners to do that. So it's going to be a great opportunity. There's a senior center nearby there. There's all sorts of people that are kind of landlocked. They're not nearby the Walmart or the
Right.
Dillons. So this might be a great opportunity for them to get some fresh things, right?
Sure. Yeah, well, that community right around the library, I know, it's...
It's right by the food pantry.
Yeah, it is, and it kind of skews a little bit older, so, yeah, and perhaps they don't have transportation. So that'll be great.
Right, and that's a lot
that'll
closer.
be real interesting to see how that is embraced by the residents in the area.
I'm thinking that maybe the Cumbernauld residents might really take an interest to that because the library is on their side of town.
Well, yeah, I could see that. Although they are kind of, I don't want to say separated, but there's a little bit of distance here. I'm thinking of like the folks in the buildings around, that were on campus and all of that are there. I know a lot of them have limited transportation, and it's nice that I think we're seeing a lot of the community gardens or that type of an emphasis show up. It gets difficult. You usually have a lot of folks that are really anxious or saying, yeah, they're excited about coming out to do something like that, but there's a lot of work involved.
Yeah, there is. That's why you have to have some infrastructure in place.
You've got to have the capacity to garden from the very beginning to the end, all the way through it. And that means in the summertime, we got to water and pull weeds and keep it looking good and keep stuff trimmed. And of course, harvest time.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, we garden at home, and whew.
Well, and that's why
It's been busy.
That's why the Winfield Correctional Facility Garden has been so well producing, because they're there all the time and they are really tending to their gardens. They're putting in a lot of effort, and they have produced over 2 tons of food that they have donated this season to the Winfield Food Pantry in those various churches I mentioned earlier.
That's neat. That really is. That says a lot about the community, I think.
That's a lot of the horticultural therapy work that we're trying to focus on, the rehabilitative instead of punitive.
Sure.
Right, because making sure that people have self-esteem and feel like they have a place to go and skills that they could live on their own is important for the attrition.
Are there things in the community that you were like maybe hoping or things on a horizon that are coming? I mean, not that you haven't rattled off an impressive list.
Well, today after this, I plan to go to Dexter, and I'm going to give Miss Chelsea Chaplin a $3,000 check for their school gardens.
That's neat.
And then I'm going to go to Dexter Outreach, and I'm going to give Gina a check also, so she can buy a refrigerator unit and some dolly carts.
That's cool. The one thing I think this conversation's really illustrated to me is the fact that these awards, these grants, these dollars are not just sitting in Winfield and Ark City. They're spread out around the community.
They are, yeah.
And that really goes to I think, make an impact in a lot of people's lives because it is all about Cowley County, not just the two major metropolitan or the major population centers. We say metropolitan, but you know what I mean. For us, yeah, it's metropolitan. Allie, you've been kind of quiet. What's going on? What are you thinking? What do you want to know? I know you're all up in RISE Cowley business, so.
Yeah, I guess I get to hear these things more frequently than you do sometimes.
Isn't that nice? I love that.
It is.
Yeah, it's a great transition for me. I love to hear about the stuff that's being done and still be involved with a lot of it. But gosh, it's like, different than when you're involved with all of it, so it's kind of nice.
Well, it's just nice to hear about these grants coming to our local communities, but actually being dispersed around throughout the county, and that things are happening with these dollars that are coming in.
I think another thing is, too, that it really illustrates probably how well perceived the organizations and the people that reside in Cowley County are.
Well, and how integral RISE Cowley is to creating these opportunities as well, because they're the whole health coalition who is supporting all of these initiatives.
Yeah, I know. I remember when we first did it, when it first got started. It's been exciting to see how it's grown and how it continues to function. I'm thrilled with the fact that I don't know if we've ever put a pen to paper to total up how many dollars have come to the county because of the work of the coalition and just the willingness that we've had to say, yeah, we want to improve our communities and look at what we're doing. Lots of things. We talk about the trails in both communities and how they're tying together. We talk about sidewalks and crosswalks, and from a standpoint of safety, when you take a look at the city of Winfield, we have two highways that intersect right in the middle of our downtown.
Right.
And the truck traffic and everything else that goes back and forth, and it can make it very perilous to even just try to cross the street downtown.
Yeah, I know. Those semis shake the windows of my 100-year-old house.
Yeah, it's something. And so I know I've gone up and down Main Street, and you look at certain intersections. You go down to like 12th where the home lumber's at, and you always see kids, because the school's not far from there, trying to cross the street. And at certain times of day, it's frightening. I'm surprised we don't have more accidents than we do. So all of these things, those dollars that come in to make our communities safer and better, I think that's important. Whether you work in the in the healthcare industry, or you're working at someplace like the health department, or you become retired and you are just a member of the community, that you continue to keep working on those things. And so you see me smiling as I'm talking about myself there, because that is something that I don't want to see stop. We just got to continue that work. It doesn't just begin and end because your time in a position comes to an end. So.
Right. And just thinking about some of these things and some of the ways that these grant dollars have created innovative projects, I'm wondering if there could be some opportunities in the future, maybe for somewhere in this work to connect with the health department, of course, but with our WIC program and our dietitians, because we've talked several times about putting together some simple recipes that families can use, that they can put together with their WIC benefits and things like that, and maybe some like hands-on demo things like that for the kids. One of the things that we talk about quite a bit at different appointments is how to get the kids involved with meal preparation and mealtime. And we're always saying, the more that you can get them involved in that preparation process, the more likely that it would be, hopefully, that you can actually get those kiddos to try the vegetables and the things on their plate that aren't the chicken nuggets and the mac and cheese. So I'm wondering if there's some way that we can merge these areas together and put something together for that cohort as well.
Yeah, and I know that Becky Reed at K-State Research and Extension would be happy to do that.
I think it would be great.
Yeah, and we at the health department are just now in a phase where we're starting to implement classes with that WIC program and that cohort, and so far it's been really well received. So I think there could be a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah, kind of maybe even extend it out and have it go into our
home visiting.
Visitor
Oh,
program.
certainly.
I mean,
yeah,
it's the same thing, It's
just anybody, young families with kiddos.
You always have to have a meal. I mean, I remember you got to know when you've got little ones, what are we doing for dinner? Because whoever gets home has to start doing that stuff, because they have to be fed. Boy, they get a little ornery if you don't feed them.
They come home starving.
I know.
From school.
It's just,
they are hungry.
And it's I think back and we're always eating, but they're always growing too.
Yeah.
So all of those things are important, and so many times people have really busy schedules, really busy lives. They're trying to cram as much in as they want. Sometimes slow down a little bit. turn the TV off, turn the phones off. How neat is it to sit down at a table and share an evening meal? One meal a day makes a big difference if you get everybody at the table, and to keep the family intact. All kinds of good things. One last thing I want to say about this, and the podcast itself, For the Health of It, is designed for us to talk and highlight about things that we're doing that impact the health of the community. But also, I think something like this really highlights the good things that go on in our community. I don't know how many times a week I'll take a look at social media, or I'll turn something on, and all I hear is the negative. It is absolutely exhausting. It's like, oh, why do we all live here? Oh, this is so terrible. And I'm like, well, if it's so bad, why are you here?
But we don't want people to leave.
I don't want people
we don't want our towns to die, but they do need to know about all this stuff, right?
Yeah, it's because sometimes it's just like, it's so easy to complain.
Yeah.
But also look at all of this and how easy it would be to become engaged in something like this. One little activity can make such a difference in a person's mental health state. And that goes a long ways into, what makes a good community and the health of that community.
And everyone has to eat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and if you're looking for that dopamine rush, volunteerism does it.
That's it.
It will give it to you. So go out there and help people get that dopamine rush that you so crave.
Meeting people, and you're never too old to make new friends.
Or help in your community, because it takes everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Ellie, do you have any other questions?
I think this is okay for today. Yeah. Thanks for coming, Amy Jo. This was fun.
Do you have more? You have any parting shots, things that you want to talk about before we wrap her up? I'm glad you can. I'm
volunteer.
Impressed. This is volunteer.
I just would like to remind you that both of these jobs that I do, the Rural Champion and the Pathways Grant Coordinator, are both grant-funded jobs. And without me being paid to do that role, I would not be able to give each one of them the super focus that I do, and that makes them both succeed like they do.
And the time for sure.
And it's nice that I know that there's some overlap. Mm-hmm. So that
because that really helps me be successful in both roles, because I know the people, I can see the connections, and the web up there is just so amazing. You would not believe how many connections there are. People just might not know.
Well, I appreciate everything that you do. I really do. I know trying to keep all those things going, and all the plates in the areas, we're juggling these things, can be hard and very much time consuming. So good job from me to you. Keep it up. I'm happy that you're doing it, and makes me feel really good about the direction we're going in the community.
Cowley County is a great place to live.
Yeah, it truthfully is. And all you got to do is just step outside and look around.
It's beautiful.
It is really.
And the people are wonderful.
Yep. Allie, anything else?
That's it for today.
Okay, good deal. Daniel, how are we doing on time? He gives me the nod. It's just like, okay, that means we still are on time. So I think we'll probably go ahead and thank everybody for taking some time out today to give us a listen. As always, you can check our episode notes, and we'll have all of the contact information listed there. Amy, one more time, you say, how do they get in touch with you? Or they could call the health department and ask to chat, or for us to get in touch with you, and we could make that connection through Cowley College at their website.
So if they want to enroll in the Cowley College Golden Tigers classes, they can do that through their website. But if they want to reach Becky or I, as far as Extension Master Gardener things, they can just contact the Cowley County Extension office. Good deal. And I know that's easy to find, and there's all kinds of places to find those numbers. So thanks again for giving us your time and coming in and sharing with us things that are going on in your world and helping us in the community. Allie, you know what, when we get to this point in time, there's always one of those things I'm waiting for. It's like, hey, everybody, we always want you to stay well. And until next time, stay well. Stay well. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this edition of For the Health of It, Cowley County. We hope you found it useful and that you'll tell your friends and give us a listen again during future episodes. As always, we end today's segment by replaying a recent Public Health Minute, which is a weekly radio message focused on keeping you healthy. So, until next time, stay well, everyone.
While cold and flu season might seem a long way off, don't let it catch you off guard. It'll be here before you know it. So please take these tips from your local health department and stay well this flu season. First off, get your yearly flu shot. Flu shots provide the best protection from infection. And even if you do get sick, flu shots are proven to reduce the severity of symptoms and shorten the length of illness. Next, make sure your immune system is in tip-top shape by practicing healthy habits. Get plenty of sleep, eat nutritious foods, and exercise regularly. These are just a few ways that help you stay healthy. Lastly, if you're sick, stay home. You need the time to rest and fully recover before returning to work or other normal activities. Plus, staying home ensures that you don't make other people sick. Remember that staying safe from the flu starts with you taking action. So we hope you'll keep these tips in mind and use the best practices that are available, helping you stay healthy during the cold and flu season. Just one more way the health department works hard every day to help you stay well.